10. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They started on the ground with Ekeler. We'll get this to about the 38. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Herbert. He dumps it to Ekeler underneath. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this is picked up by the Bears. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've comped it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
On first down, they go with Mostert again. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
On 2nd down, Mostert. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Raheem Mostert, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bears use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Oh, this is blocked. This is going the other way. Taking it right down Broadway. He's at the 50. 30. Past the 20, 10, 5. Picked up by the offense. This is a live ball. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. Charles, you got to think the #1 goal here is ball security. Remember, last drive they coughed it up. Then they allowed the touchdown, and now they're trailing on the scoreboard.
Boy, the way you described it makes me think that one actually hurt them 3 times. The fumble cost them potential points. Then they watched their opponent get a touchdown off of the fumble. And third, they lost the lead as a result. Really tough sequence right there. I don't think coaches have to remind them to hold on to the football. They've just got to find a way to get it done.
He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. It's early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the Grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you know, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
Back to football.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And just 2 series in here, Charles, but everything's gone to script so far. They got a touchdown on their first drive. Their defense holds, and now they've got a chance to take a 2-score lead.
And to co-sign with you, exactly the start they scripted up. And really, that kind of start, that can set the tone for the game for them.
Well, this defense for the Chargers very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
I have to admit I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 42 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times. The Bears at 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind is certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Up the middle they go with Mostert. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. And some space here. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. Oh, fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you can have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the gun, here's Fields. Flushed out right. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I'm not quite sure what he thought he saw there, but the reality was certainly a much different picture than what he anticipated. And give credit to the defense. They were down on the flash when he broke out of there, and they forced him out with almost nothing to show for his efforts.
They'll run the draw with Mostert. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He hits Mooney going across the middle. And he will not be able to get the first as he can get this only down to the 5. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down. Santos' kick is up and through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
The Charger drive about to get going. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Herbert's throw going into the hands of Williams. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 2nd and a couple. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, Herbert. He's got it to Williams. And he is going to have the Chargers first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
I like the fact that they didn't overcomplicate things on that call. 3rd and 2. Just run the quick little hitch, which they did. Ball's out of quarterback's hands, and yes, indeed, they pick up the first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
2nd and 10. Here's Herbert once more. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And they're going to get this up to midfield. After one, it's 9-0.
Chargers 9.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Eckler now between the tackles. Knifes his way forward here, but just
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Herbert operating from the red zone. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. This has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Another try after the first down sack. Herbert. They have pressure coming, and they got him once again. That's Akeem Hicks, the towering NFL vet, coming in for the sack.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
Allen, the man in motion right. Third and long, it's Herbert. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this one dropped in the end zone. Looked like a touchdown, but not to be. And now it's fourth down. And this is going to be no good. He misses it off to the left. Soldier Field, always a tough place to kick, especially for younger guys who don't kick here regularly. And I think the Winds just claimed another victim. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
18 yards the gain for number 18. Now a give to Mostert running right. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes at that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
Complete to Mooney on the slant. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
Running the counter with Mostert. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Able to hit his target, Claypool. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. The Bears on the move. They've got another first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
A run there with Mostert as he'll push this forward and call it a 4-yard gain on first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Second down, here's Mostert again. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 84 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
But that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Here's Mostert. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Raheem Mostert with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And they are able to add on to their advantage. This time, the extra point up and good. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. Now, after the touchdown. Here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will be brought out to the 25 as Taylor elects to not return it. The Charger drive about to get going. They're down a couple of scores, 16-0, as they start things out with a 1st and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. Well, Charles, not only did they fumble the football, but they're starting to fumble away their chances here a little bit. We've got a 3-score ball game now here in the first half.
And the last thing you want to do, partner, is help the other team with what are avoidable turnovers. You want to hang on to the football because you're already playing against a good team. You're just making it easier for them by giving them extra opportunities.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. On the return, it's Taylor from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. That's caught right side by Palmer. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Play action. It's Herbert. That's again complete to Palmer. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. It's another first down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Herbert off of play action. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Herbert back to the air. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Herbert. Got a man, it's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chargers are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Brandon Staley telling his troops to stay out there and go for two. And they'll have Herbert try and throw for it. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And he takes it all the way back. It's a pick two, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way.
Well, there's some excitement, right? Go for two, and instead it gets picked off. And how about the return? Give him a lot of credit, though, for not giving up after the play.
Yeah, the troops rallied.
Exactly, and getting back there, making the tackle, and not giving up 2 points themselves.
The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Fields now to throw. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number one. A final shot before the break. Fields. That's complete to Mooney. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Well, certainly not what they wanted out of the locker room here as they'll start defensively at the 40-yard line. Well, not one you see often there as he fails to keep it between the sides. Position.
And it's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this, and most of the time you don't. It's absolutely a mishit, and now your team pays the price. Bad field position for your defense.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 109 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. And he's got some space here. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. It's another first down on what will be a gain of 21 yards.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Fields. This will be caught inside the 10. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal.
That's a great run right there on first down. Didn't quite get into the end zone, But now you've set yourself up for at least 2, maybe 3 more shots from close range.
Again, it's Mostert, but he will not get to the goal line. In fact, he won't get to the line of scrimmage as they push him back to the 2. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Mostert will score. Touchdown, Chicago. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the 3rd quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Santos with the extra point, and that will bump the lead up to 26. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Taylor now from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. After the sack on 1st down, Herbert. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Across the formation, he's got a man. That's Allen. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it will still lead to a 4th down.
Well, don't tell any defensive coordinator I played for, but that might be considered a win for both teams because defensively they stopped them short and forced the 4th down. But offensively, they picked up enough yards to give their kicker a better shot if that's what they want to do.
They snap it to Herbert. Over the middle, complete. It's Williams. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Herbert now. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Matthew Ioannidis dropping him for the 2nd straight play. Might want to think about blocking him here on 3rd down.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Gerald Everett, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chargers are able to cut into that deficit. So a very important first drive of the 3rd quarter, Charles, and safe to say, a much-needed touchdown.
Which leads to the question, where was this in the first half? Because if they'd had a few more drives like that, they wouldn't be in this situation. But that is the kind of drive that sends a message to the other side. We're going to be here, and we're going to battle you to the end.
And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
176 yards rushing for now as this sensational afternoon continues. We often poke little fun at running backs past the age of 30. Oh, they're getting old, they can't run anymore. What he's showing, past the age of 30, you can still have some nice runs like that.
You certainly can, and I think that we're starting to expand our definition of old running back. Because it used to be as soon as they hit 30, we want to get rid of these guys and go to the younger guys. But now that the guys are taking such great care of themselves, as you pointed out, you can still get explosive runs at any age.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the third quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances. So they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
Once again, it's Mostert. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
Cairo Santos for the Bears field goal on 23 yards.
Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. 3 more points tacked on, and this margin getting more comfortable by the minute.
And with the lead where it is, you can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring 6s, not 3s. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
The Charger drive about to get going. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Herbert. And that one complete downfield to Allen. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Herbert on 1st down now. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. This offense so far on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. He finds his target, Allen. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 25-yard line. Back to throw here, Herbert. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Akeem Hicks. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. Here's Herbert. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lasted one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Fourth down for Herbert. Desperation time. Williams brings it in. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here, maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well,
in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got a man, complete. He's at the 30, 10, 5, touchdown, Chicago. Darnell Mooney, 92 yards. And the Bears look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
The touchdown here, Santos to kick this one away. Taylor decides not to try to return it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now it's Herbert. He's got a man, that's Keenan Allen. And out across midfield down to the 45. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone.
A gain of 26 yards. 1st down, Los Angeles.
Again, Herbert. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Well, CD, you know, anytime they get close to the red zone, he is such a threat, and there he is again already, his second touchdown of the ball game.
And I know it's probably a little bit of a failing on my part, but you know I watch a game through defensive eyes, and I don't understand what the coverage was doing there. When he headed out deep, they should have adjusted and flowed towards him. Instead, they left him out there and gave him a chance to make a big play. And, of course, he did exactly that. His size, speed.
Into a sea of defenders had intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. He's at the 50, the 30, 10, 5, and he takes it all the way back. It's a pick two, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way.
Well, as most teams do in their two-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you got a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there. That's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. He'll look to Mostert to start things out. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
He's brought down at the 42-yard line. A gain of a yard. Brings up second.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Second down, here's Mostert again. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down for the Bears.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
A run with Mostert up the middle. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down for the Bears. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score. This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Fields. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. We're ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but They'll take the 3, and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Charger drive about to get going. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker, and the Bears are going to take possession of the football. Facing this fourth quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock. They know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Chicago, they get back in the win column as